Hello folks, I am your host Ali Raj and you are watching Gassightman. AWS SageMaker Demo Part 1. Hello, in this lesson let's go ahead and everyone welcome to this lesson. In this lesson let's go ahead and get started with the Amazon SageMaker. So if you recall, in our previous lesson we went through an intro to the Amazon SageMaker. We learned about the Amazon SageMaker capabilities and what is Amazon SageMaker. We also covered here and a very high level of the architecture for training and for deployment. And we learned that Amazon SageMaker essentially deals with an easy to clean a registry and also deal with S3 as well in order to train my model and also to deploy my model. Afterward, when we also went through the various components when it comes to the Amazon SageMaker, and we found as well all the different training options that are offered by the Amazon SageMaker, including the AWS Marketplace. If you wanted to create your own custom algorithm, or if you want to use maybe some of the popular deep learning frameworks, what of course you can use the Amazon SageMaker built-in algorithm as well. So let me go ahead and get started. I just wanted to remind you guys with an overview of what we actually really need when it comes to training any machine learning model. So to train any machine learning model, well, you need the three things. If you guys recall, we covered that before. I need my data, I need an actual model, and then I need to compute to be able to train my model with that data, right? And luckily Amazon SageMaker and Amazon in general, AWS in general, as an entire platform, it offers you to all of these different areas. So when it comes to the data, well, within AWS you will see that we have S3, which is simple storage service, and essentially within AWS. So there are many available options for you. If you want to use the DynamoDB or you want to use Elastic Cache, there are many available options here for you when it comes to storage and databases as well. Okay, what's about the model? Well, Amazon SageMaker as well has the main, I would say, frameworks when it comes to the machine learning. There are also the many services available for you here under the machine learning category within the Amazon SageMaker. I would say within AWS in general. So we have Amazon Comprehend, Amazon Forecast. We can also have the Amazon Machine Learning, Personalized Only, and all these services have specific to the machine learning. Okay, what's about the compute? Well, Amazon has well, AWS offer you the easy to instances for computing. We also have the ECR, ECS, EKS. We also have the Lambda. Many options available for you here, and when it is come to the compute. So essentially you don't need to integrate AWS with any other services or any other, let's say, cloud services provider. Everything again is contained here within the one-stop shop, which is super powerful. Okay, so enough for this video. Let's go ahead and jump into the Amazon SageMaker and show you guys an overview of the opportunities. Please note that here I have included snapshots of basically every single step that we are going to go through. So if you guys get lost, for example, or if you would like to refer to the notes here, and you can go back and refer to the notes. So let me go back and show you guys here. So here I have my AWS management console. So I sign into my AWS account, and what you guys see here is I can go ahead and click on Amazon SageMaker. So if you click on Amazon SageMaker, please note that this will be recently visited services to the guys wanted to search for the Amazon SageMaker. You can write Sage here and then it can show you the Amazon SageMaker, and basically it can provide you with the quick description or what it actually does. It build, train and deploy machine learning model. It's actually what you are looking for, and you can also see that there are the key top features that we have within the Amazon SageMaker. So we have Amazon SageMaker Studio, and that will be covered up the nets. We can also have the autopilot, and we have the entire day we can are going to train multiple machine learning model on the autopilot. So without essentially writing or specify any advanced code, you can go ahead and define multiple experiments, and everything will be done for you in an autopilot mode, which is really powerful feature. And also we have we call it the Amazon SageMaker Canvas, and this is simply a no code framework to build and train machine learning model. And again, we are going to have an example today where we are going to leverage Amazon SageMaker Canvas. So please go ahead and click on the Amazon SageMaker, and that is going to open SageMaker for you. And this is simply the home page here, and please note that this home page could be slightly different based on the time you sign it, because again Amazon SageMaker AWS in general, they try to refresh in your speeches and be offer tons of the feature. For example, you will see on the left hand side here we have the Studio Study Lab, and that's new. Canvas is actually relatively new as well, as being released maybe the 6 months ago. We also have our studio, which is the YouTube. Okay, so there are so many features available, and Hell Web as well we go, but the basic functionality will be pretty much the same. Okay, so what you can see here in the on the left hand side, you will see tons of option available for you. For example, so I would like to label data. If you click on the ground truth here, you can go ahead and click start labeling job. So if I click on the labeling job, for example, it should open Amazon SageMaker ground truth. I can go ahead and say create labeling job, and if you scroll to the bottom here, you will see that you can do multiple labeling job available for you. You can for example do an image classification. You can also do here for the single label or for multiple label as well. For example, here I can label this image as at either basketball or soccer. I can also do multi classification. For example, I can see in this image there is a human, and there is some vehicle, so there is a car here and human. So if I have more than one class, I can include that here as well, a part of this labeling services. I can select what I want. So you can also do what we call it bounding boxes. So let's say I wanted to train the machine learning model to simplify the direct object in the scene and draw the boundary boxes around these objects. Can also do that. And you can also do what we call it semantic segmentation. So essentially, when the pixel level, I can go ahead and essentially segment the scene. So I can segment here specific objects in my image using the echo, as well the semantic segmentation on labeling pieces here. And you can also do the label verification, essentially get the human worker to verify the existing label. And so if you have the label already get an existing, I can say, well, that's the correct label. That's a car, for example. More, it is an incorrect label. Please note that we are going to have an entire day when we are going to cover the Amazon SageMaker ground truth. So don't worry about that. We just wanted to show you guys from a very high level what is going in here. So let's keep going. So on the left hand side as well, you will see that here I have a notebook. You can go ahead and click the start the notebook instances. You can other see that here we can have the training. So you can go ahead and click start a training job. For example, I can say click on the training job, and you can say I want to create a training job, and you can go ahead here and specify. For example, if I scroll to the bottom here, you can see that you can choose a specific algorithm that you would like to train, so which is actually a very powerful. If you don't need to go and actually invent that wheel, actually reinvent the wheel. For example, I would like to have, let's say for example, image classification. You will need to do is select the image classification and option here with an algorithm, and specify where the location of your data set is in S3, and that's about it. You can go ahead and kickstart a training job. You can also do the object detection. I can do forecasting test data. You can also do problem and also the classification problem. You can also do the principal component analysis and dimensionality reduction. Again, many features available for you, and I will do my best to cover as many algorithms as I can in this course. You guys go back to the Amazon SageMaker, and again this is just a quick walkthrough to the Amazon SageMaker. So if you give check it out here to the inferences after the model is I trained, I need to deploy that model as an endpoint. So what you can go ahead and specify the endpoint, so you can do essentially deploy your model as well. You can also here, if you scroll to the bottom, you will see that I have AWS Marketplace, and this is really interesting. You can essentially go ahead and click on, let's say, model packages you want to see October train models available for you, and you can go ahead and just use them. That's pretty scary and very powerful at the same time. For example, you can do the license plate detection and donation. You can go ahead and just view products and train as well as the model, or for example say sorry for the influence of the model. You are not doing any training here, that these models are already trained. I can just go ahead and use the library now. We have an example coming up ahead. The next couple of the lecture we are going to show you guys an object detector, for example. That's so alright, so let's go ahead. I wanted to show you guys how we can check and start our notebook, define our first notebook instances, and write our first code. So if you check at the notebook instances here, you can go ahead and say I wanted to create a notebook instances. All I need to have is to need to give it a name. So for example here I am going to call it is let's my first notebook, and you can go ahead and here and select the simply the instances type. So I can say ml T to medium or T to large. You can choose any basically instance you want. I just wanted to select the most basic one. Please note that this is free, and as long as you are within the AWS free title limit, you can also go ahead and select the elastic inference. Basically the elastic inference can speed up the process for you, don't worry about it for now. So let's keep everything here as default. You can go ahead here and you can say I wanted to define the identity access mean management console. So if I say create a new role, and I am going to give that role basically access to any S3 bucket, make my life easy. Or you can also give them the role specify access to a specific bucket. No, I just want to keep it easy. I want to give you that identity and access management console. Essentially to my the notebook here is to access my S3 bucket. I am also gonna to say create role, and that is going to create the role for me. Looks good. So you can also do kind of add an additional level of security by adding here an encryption key. Don't worry about it. Again, there is an additional level. You can also do here any other level of security by adding what we call it VPC, virtual private cloud, and that's again this is the option, again an additional level of the security. Don't worry about it now as well. I can just say go ahead and please create a notebook in a sense for me. That's what you guys see here on this right hand, and that the statue is showing has a pending. So right now it is actually creating my notebook instances for me, and basically I can go ahead and afterward write my first code, and that's what we are going to do in the next lesson. So I hope you guys enjoy this lecture and so far, and see you guys in the next lecture. गेट साइटमेंट को लाइक करें, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन को दबा दें ताकि इस जैसी अपडेट्स आपको मिलती रहें।